In today's video, I want to start by asking you a question and then give you something to think about over the next few minutes. What are your reasons for stacking silver and why is it important to you? Now, I'm not asking you to leave a comment down below, but feel free to do so if you would like to. But I want to talk to you about silver and how it's been performing, not just price, but premiums over the last week and a half, and really ever since the whole Silicon Valley banking collapse, and a few other banks as well. And of course, the fear of a full-blown banking collapse caused silver and gold prices to really go up quite a bit, and silver premiums actually increased dramatically. Now, I'm sure the majority of you that are watching this video know what premiums are. But essentially, premiums on silver are how much you are paying over the spot of price to get. Like for example, this silver Austrian, silver philharmonic. And boy, I tell you, it's one of my favorites. I just love the, the overall design of the coin. So, if silver is trading at $25 an ounce, but you pay $30 an ounce, we're paying $5 premium. There is a reason for those premiums. In order for the dealers to stay afloat, they, of course, must make money. And they certainly cannot do that by selling something the same price that they just paid for. There is, a cost in production of things like 1 ounce silver rounds, which are always going to be more expensive than what they trade for. In that regard, sometimes the premiums can be quite high and unjustifiably high. And I'm not saying that the current premiums are not justified. There is no way for me to say that whether it is or not, although I don't really know. And there has been a massive increase in demand over the past week and a half, and really for the past month, ever since those collapse within those banks back in March. And I expect that as this financial crisis continues to get worse, that we can expect an increase in demand and premiums. Perhaps some folks are finally starting to wake up, and many people don't feel comfortable keeping their cash in cash, so they're looking for a safe haven. And many people run to silver and gold in times of turmoil, especially financial turmoil. And silver and gold have always been safe haven assets. That's exactly what we've been seeing. As well as physical silver, we also saw paper silver. In other words, paper silver contracts that you see trading on the COMEX that caused the COMEX price to increase. Even though it doesn't seem that, at least in the minds of some people, now the whole scares of a full-on banking collapse has been subsided. We have seen those numbers both go up, and we have seen physical silver premiums upward of $5 to $6 per ounce. And they are still there today. This is why I wanted to talk to you about a banking collapse. In general, many people think that FDIC will come to the rescue if their bank happens to fail. Now, I'm going to be honest with you and truthful with you. FDIC is broke. They simply don't have enough money to cover all of the deposits. Now, unless you're someone in the 1%, don't expect Grandma Janet Yellen to put on her cape and save the day. What do I mean by that? Well, let's use Silicon Valley Bank for example. They had very wealthy depositors within their bank, including people like Mark Cuban and even the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. God, I'm not going to lie to you, when I say his name, Gavin Newsom, I just want to throw up. In fact, some of his wine companies were attached to that bank. So what did he do? Well, he placed a call to Joe, and he said, hey, I need a bailout. I need a bailout for Silicon Valley Bank, of course they provided them with a bailout where the depositors within that bank got their money. By the way, FDIC broke their own rule. As most of us know, FDIC says that they will insure up to $250,000. Well, most accounts at Silicon Valley Bank had over $250,000. So depositors at Silicon Valley Bank were getting all of their money back, even though they had more money than the threshold of $250,000. So with that being said, don't expect FDIC or the governments to save the day if you're just a regular day citizen. Now, if you are a normal citizen, let's say for an example, someone within the middle class, you can expect perhaps even the exact opposite of a bank bailout. You might incur a bank bail-in, and that's where the banks take their depositors' money. Banks might perform this act to try and save their bank from a collapse. And another thing that I hear that really frightens me, I hear this term a lot. Oh, it'll never happen in America or in the United Kingdom. Well, it happened in Cyprus back in 2013. It happened in Greece. Take a look at the country of Lebanon. What happened to a lot of accounts is that their government took half. More than half, and some accounts were completely drained and gone. So if it happened over there, it most certainly can happen back here in the States, especially with our reckless politicians who keep on making terrible monetary mishaps. Now, the government might step in, and I'm sure as most of us know, we can take a look back at 2008 to try and help out and ensure that all the depositors have their money returned to them to keep the faith in the government banking system, which is something very important to the US dollar being a world reserve currency because of a huge faith in our banking system. In the event that that does not happen, well, what will happen? Well, in the worst case scenario, what happens if the government defaults? Well, I believe that the US government defaulting is basically unconstitutional. It can still very well happen. And my mind often wanders to, what would people like you and me do in that situation? In addition to gold and silver, I believe there are other things that are just as important, to be honest with you, such as staying in good shape and being healthy, and being able to make your own food and distill your own water, as well as being able to use first aid and being able to, defend for yourself are essential survival skills. Now, certainly there are modern examples of countries using gold as a medium of exchange, such as Zimbabwe, Venezuela, and other countries. Again, I'm not trying to fearmonger here, and honestly, I think the chances of something like that happening are smaller than people would like you to believe. However, though, this does not mean that you should not be prepared for it. Therefore, I stack gold and silver, and I believe it's very important, especially in these difficult times. I also believe that's why people always run back to gold and silver whenever there is a hiccup in the financial world. And that's why you see the markets fluctuate. Now that the worries are starting to subside, even unjustifiably, we're seeing the numbers a little bit starting to come back down as gold and silver are climbing again. And that's why I stack, and that's why I will continue to stack. Now, of course, at any day or any given time of moment, the bank collapse could be right back on. So, try to get this and some gold while you can. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And hey, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.